Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that everybody is having a lovely weekend so far. I hope you're enjoying every moment, every minute of life. Welcome Nitu, Fateh. Good to see many people joining in on this class. We are focusing on IELTS speaking part 3, the final part of your IELTS speaking interview. It takes about 5 minutes for this part of the interview, and for some people it's definitely the most challenging. You get asked some very specific questions on specific topics. Today's specific topic will be about fake products, also known as counterfeit products or knockoff products. Amrit, welcome to our group of viewers here. Our member Amrit, relatively new. Good to have you joining regularly, Amrit. That's great. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we've got loads of tools and information to help you succeed on your IELTS exam. The websites have a speaking interface that we will use today to talk to each other so that I can assess the English level of different viewers and give feedback and tips and strategies on what to do. So definitely a good idea to join these websites. This is aehelp.com here. Click this big red button to join our premium IELTS package just above my head. When you do that, use the code HELP20 for a 20% discount off the premium package. That price is different in different countries, so depending on where you are living. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, definitely worth it. So make sure to subscribe. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, okay? General IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. Again, click this big red button there just above my head. We are British Council certified IELTS test registration center. We are trained British Council agents, so you're in great hands with us. Benke, Uma, Saad, Tabassum, Savar. Nice to see many people joining us from different corners of the planet. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So again, speaking part 3 in today's class, and we will have more classes coming up next week as well. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell, the notification button. Follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AHelp, GIELTS and get our apps. The apps will link to the websites. The apps have lots of free content as well. So academic IELTS help and general IELTS help from your app stores. If you have questions, send me an email. Adrian@aehelp.com. We can answer your questions and we can help you lots with your speaking. Of course, we always have speaking videos going up on our YouTube channel. So again, make sure to subscribe. We have this video right here with a wonderful candidate from Madhya Pradesh. And you can check that out later. And we've got free IELTS speaking classes on Lighthall as well. Lighthall is an awesome learning platform. Check that out. There will be one next Sunday and the Sunday after that. So take a look at those. Okay. I've put the links in the chat so you can check those out. Lagan Kayo says, hi Adrian, I watched a lot of your YouTube videos. Thank you for your tips and tricks. I passed the IELTS with flying colors. Lagan Kayo, congratulations. Lagan, please send me an email And I would love to get your testimonial to add to our website. So please send an email to me, okay, to adrian@aehelp.com. I would love to get your testimonial, and congratulations on your IELTS score. I like hearing those kinds of stories, especially at the end of the week. Okay, everyone, so let's get to it. IELTS, speaking part 3. The speaking section has 3 parts. Part 1 is about 4 or 5 minutes. Introduction, questions on general topics. Then part 2 is a small presentation where you get some questions on one topic. And then you have to give a little bit of like a speech for 1 to 2 minutes. So part 2 takes anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. And then part 3 takes about another 5-6 minutes. And it's connected to part 2. So the questions are related to part 2. That's where they really ask you specific questions. And part 3, for those IELTS candidates who are doing a good job in their speaking. So you did a good job in part 1. You did a good job in part 2. Part 3 is where the examiner will decide whether you're band 7.5, band 8, band 9. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so for students with upper intermediate and advanced level English, part 3 is where the examiner mostly determines whether the candidate is a band 7, 8, or 9. Because that's where you really are tested on your communication skills, your vocabulary, your grammatical range at the highest level. So part 1 is testing that, part 2 is testing that, but part 3 certainly tests that at the highest level. Okay, so you want to finish strong. Okay, you want to finish strong. And in order to finish strong, okay, so let me go from here. To finish strong, you must connect your answers to your part 2 response. You must give clear explanations and examples. Okay? So you have to focus on that. Now we're going to practice a lot in today's class, as I usually do for the final class of the week, and this is our final class of this week. I try to get as much practice with our viewers as possible. So we're going to get right into this. Now we didn't do the part 2 for this week, but you know, you can imagine that you had talked about this for part 2. So the examiner says, okay, that is the end of part 2. Now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I will ask you some more questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about counterfeit products. Okay. Now, again, counterfeit products are fake products, knockoff products, or you can think about as copies of the originals, usually lower quality, usually sold cheaper, right? Okay, so think about that. Fuang is asking, if the examiner asks many questions in part 3, is it a signal that the student will get a higher score? Fuang, it's possible. If you're doing a good job and they can ask you more questions, that's usually a good sign, but that isn't necessarily true. They might be asking you more questions because you're giving very short answers, or you're answering incorrectly, so they're trying to ask more questions to see if you're having difficulties understanding the questions or you're just nervous. Amrit says we can also say they're imitation products. Absolutely. So lots of different ways to paraphrase. Good thinking, Amrit. Very nice. I'm looking at the chat, students. I'm looking at what you're doing at the same time. So if you have questions, let me know. Okay, so here is the first question. We will do this together. Just type it, okay? And I'll give you a little bit of feedback, and then we'll get right into practice today. So here's the question. What are the most common types of merchandise that companies copy these days? The goods that are often imitated, let's use Amrit's word, by businesses nowadays are digital products, such as phones, as well as clothing like shoes and games like video consoles. Okay. I bought a pair of Adidas shoes online 6 months ago, and they turned out to be knockoffs. Okay, so there's my answer. This is speaking, by the way, so make sure you're not just listening to me and not just typing. That's good practice too for listening and for writing, but you want to speak. So in this class, make sure that you're speaking and repeating as much as possible. So speak and repeat. Okay, here we go. So the question, what are the most common types of merchandise that companies copy these days? The goods that are often imitated by businesses nowadays are digital products such as phones, as well as clothing like shoes and games, like video consoles. I bought a pair of Adidas shoes online 6 months ago, and they turned out to be knockoffs. Okay. A knockoff, traduc femme, is a copy or an imitation of a real product. Okay. Tezzies, yeah, we do have intensive IELTS courses. If you sign up for our course at aehelp.com and you do 8 to 10 hours each day, it's intense for sure. Okay, if you follow the 30-day lesson plan in the lesson plan section. All right. Okay, Trin says your answer is for Band 8 Plus, question mark. Good question, Trin. Something's missing from my answer. What's missing? What is it? What do you think? So, I mean, HEMA, Tezzy's crash course or intense course is not ideal for getting ready for IELTS, but yeah, you can. The website has quick courses. I'll show you that when we get there, okay? In a minute when we switch to using the website. Me, very good. Explanation, education, notes. Yeah, explanation. Yeah, my answer is missing an explanation. Don't forget your explanations, okay? So the goods that are often imitated by businesses nowadays are digital products such as phones, as well as clothing like shoes, and games like video consoles, because these are popular and a quick way to make money. Okay, so now I have an explanation of sorts. Okay, answer, explanation, example. I'm very happy, me and Education Notes, that you caught that. Okay, Nitu caught that too, the explanation, right? Why are businesses copying these products so often? Because it's easy to make money from them. They're popular products. Now you've got that band 9. Okay, now it's a band 9. So answer, explanation. Now it is a band 9. What's a good trick to remember including the explanation? Okay, so what is a good trick to not forget? I know it's kind of a weird way to say it, but let's say it this way. So what is a good trick to not forget the explanation? Unfortunately, it really happens often with IELTS candidates. And if you're watching a lot of those videos that they have on other YouTube channels, you will actually notice that many times they say, oh, it's a band 9 or it's a band 8. But they're not really, because if you watch them carefully, you will notice that their explanations are strange or missing often. I've watched some of these and I wish I could say that, yeah, they're great. Some of them are pretty good. But many of these videos on some of the other bigger channels that you see for IELTS, and they're like, it's a band 9 speaking. And then it's kind of like, really? Is it though? Because band 9, you have to have good communication, and good communication has explanation. So watch for that. When you watch an IELTS speaking mock interview on any YouTube channel, be critical. Check, is there a clear explanation for this person's answers? If your answer is no, it's probably not a band 9. Okay, so what is a good trick to not forget explanations? Kind of a weird way to ask it, but all right, so what's a good way to do that? John Williams says to ask why questions, like to always think about why. To always have why in your head. Yeah, sure. Okay, I think that's a good answer, to always be thinking why, like like small kids do. Why? Yeah, me says to add the word because, since, as, when. Yeah, exactly. So just automatically throw in the word. That's the best trick. Okay. So trick time. Trick. There we go. Trick. Always throw in the word because, since, as, when. Therefore, there are a lot of different words that indicate cause and effect. Okay, so you're basically thinking of cause plus effect. Cause plus effect words. Okay, so if you throw that in, because even if it takes you a second to think about your reason, even if it's not a perfect explanation, it's still better than not including an explanation. Okay, explanations are really good. Vanke says due to. Yeah, exactly. So that's good. And Earth says always remember the idea or the answer, the explanation, and example pattern. That's right. Okay. Very nice. Simran says, I purchased the Levi's t-shirt from a local store, but after one wash, its color faded away, and I felt disappointed to discover it was a fake. Okay, Simran, finish with the topic. It was a fake. Okay. All right. Now, here, you have this follow-up question, and sometimes they will do this where they will ask you, why do companies do this? And even though I told them why companies do this, they might still ask this kind of a question. Why do companies do this? So even if you feel like you answered it, you must give more detail. Okay? So the first question here is, what are the most common types of merchandise that companies copy these days? And I say the goods that are often. By the way, goods here means merchandise. It's a paraphrase. The goods that are often imitated by businesses nowadays are digital products such as phones, as well as clothing like shoes, and games like video consoles, because these are popular and a quick way to make money. I bought a pair of Adidas shoes online 6 months ago and they turned out to be knockoffs. So now the examiner says, why do companies do this? Okay. And here I can say something like it's kind of get rich quick scheme. Okay, here's some nice natural band 9 level English for you. It's a kind of get rich quick scheme. Repeat after me if this is new for you. It's kind of a tongue twister even. It's kind of a get rich quick scheme whereby means in this situation. So whereby the company does not need to advertise the product because it is already famous. So they do not spend money on it, but instead make a much cheaper replica, which they quickly sell at a lower cost and make a good profit. I mean, I bought my Adidas shoes because I know the brand, but I paid good money, but they turned out to be poorly made at a low cost. Okay. So here's a deeper explanation, and I'm using the same example. So this is that connection, right? So this is what I was saying. You're going from that band 7 to that band 8 to that band 9 level in speaking part 3. Why do companies do this? It's a kind of get rich quick scheme whereby the company does not need to advertise the product because it's already famous. So they don't need to spend on marketing. Instead, they make a much cheaper replica, which they sell quickly at a lower cost to make a good profit. I mean, I bought my Adidas shoes because I know the brand and I paid good money, but they turned out to be poorly made at a low cost. Okay, we've got some answers here. Kiran, I am looking at the chat, by the way, and we will be talking to each other very, very shortly here. Okay, so see, these are some of the answers that your classmates came up with. Now, Kiran, I'm not sure if you finished this a little bit later. Oh, there it is. Okay, you're finished. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, look for it, because the ... Okay, well, let's get it the same font while we're at it, right? Okay, so Kiran says, well, they do these for various reasons. Firstly, like I said earlier, as the products are popular, they often get purchased frequently, and thus companies can make hefty profits. Furthermore, the cost of production is less and they can use the regular materials that are found easily in the markets. Okay, I didn't think about that one, Kiran, but it's true, right? They already have all of the components for it probably available. Very nice. Okay. All right. You can't predict your exam, Baram John. Okay, it doesn't work like that. That's silly. People that say they can predict the exam are being silly. Don't listen to it. Okay, they're basically just guessing. Okay, it's like predicting lottery numbers. If you can predict the lottery number, great, do it. I will not put my life on that. I will put it on the sure bet, which is planning and execution. Planning, practice, execution. Yeah, so it's sad to see all those videos of like guessing your IELTS exam. And by the way, even if somebody did that and if somebody like leaked the questions, you won't get your score. You'll have to resit the exam in many cases. So hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they don't predict the IELTS, because then if too many people are getting high scores and it looks like there was cheating going on, guess what? They cancel all the scores. Okay. So careful with that, students. Careful with that. Okay. Fateh says, people got influenced by many social media influencers and they wanted to wear same, but their pocket does not allow them because originals are expensive. Therefore, companies make fake products for sale. Fateh, good. That's a good answer. Just work on the grammar. So people are influenced by social media. You don't need influencer. It's repetition. It's strange. And they want to wear the same products, missing object, but their pockets, plural, do not allow them because the originals are expensive. Therefore, companies make fake products for sale to quickly turn a profit. Okay. All right, now it's better. Okay, students, good job so far. Let's keep this spirit going forward, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to do some live speaking. I love this part of the day, of the week, where I get to speak to you, the viewers, and we get to practice our IELTS speaking. So this is how we're going to do it. I will ask you now to go to our website, aehelp.com, register an account. Let me show you how to do this. So let's jump to, you can do it here at gieltshelp.com or generalieltshelp.com as well. And you can certainly do it here as well, the Academic IELTS website. You go here to aehelp.com. You can click that big red button for the premium package, or you can click this green button that's just like right there above my shoulder. Is it that side? I think it is. Maybe I'm pointing to the other. No, I'm pointing to the other side. Okay, so it's over here. mirror imaging. It's tricky. So you can click that green button. It's a free way to do this, so to try this. Everybody loves free. And then you go to your My Student account, and right there in the same spot on the screen, there's Student Partner Speaking. So you don't have to look to many different places, but right there, Student Partner Speaking. Okay, click that button. If you like this kind of speaking practice, you can book a speaking interview with me by clicking this yellow button here, and then you get a full IELTS speaking practice interview with score estimates, email follow-up. You get a video of the speaking interview so you can practice from it later. So lots of goodies there. Okay, so the speaking interview practice, you can use that, but for now we're using the free function where you can talk to other students or me if I happen to be logged in. And you go to that page, and then on that page you will find lots and lots of other students that are learning for the IELTS exam. So here we have Manisha. John is calling me. Please don't call me. I will call you. We have Lynette. We have Mandeep. Ramneet. I think John meant to send me maybe a message there. You can send me a message by with the blue envelope beside my handle. My handle will be master. Okay. So send me a message, say I want to volunteer, and then we will have a short discussion with part 3 questions. I will give you your band score estimate and some feedback, and we'll go from there. So let me put on my ears. Okay, and then we're off to the races, as I say. Okay. All right, and I see lots of people volunteering, which is superb. Okay. So let's see. Let's kind of go from the bottom of the list today. So let's go with John. Okay, we have lots of time, so I've got lots of chances here. So hang in there. Okay. John, sorry, my mistake. By the way, I'd like to volunteer. Okay, John, it sounds like you're really anxious and you're ready. So are you ready? Let's do this. Okay. I will always message you. Once I message you, then we'll connect. Okay, I message you first to make sure that you are there.
Sir?
Hi, John.
How are you doing, sir? Sorry, I just, by mistake, pressed that button to call you.
It's easy to do. Those buttons are right beside each other, and yeah, I get pretty excited to click those buttons as well. So it's no problem. All right, John. Well, you're here, and that's great. And you're practicing on your weekend, which is fantastic. Where are you, John? Can you tell our viewers?
Yes, I reside in Uzbekistan, in Samarkand city.
Samarkand in Uzbekistan. Awesome. What time is it in Uzbekistan right now?
It's sharply 8 o'clock. 8 p.m.
Oh, you're exactly halfway around the world then, right? From me.
Oh, yeah.
Time-wise. Because it's 8 a.m. for me. So 8 p.m. for you, 8 a.m. You're getting ready for nighttime relaxation. I'm jealous. I'm just getting ready for the day. All right. Okay, John. Well, let's go to part 3 here, and I'll ask you a question or two, and then give you some feedback to help you with your English communication and your IELTS score, okay? All right. Here we go. So IELTS speaking part 3. Let's talk about counterfeit products. What are the most common types of merchandise that companies copy these days?
The products that are imitated frequently are usually digital devices like phone, laptops, computers. Aside from that, the clothes as well, like shoes, Nike, Adidas, those sort of brands. The companies tend to do this in order to make money easily, and by that, thanks to this, they can make vast wealth in a short amount of time. And
why do companies do this?
Well, companies tend to do this in order to get rich in a short amount of time, because this is far more easier way to manufacture those goods, because the ideas are already generated. For example, I can exemplify the case of Xiaomi phone, which is actually priced reasonably. This is, I can say, the mixture of iPhone and Samsung phones. The device components are from Samsung, and the programs are usually they are programmed to be like an iPhone phone. So this is much easier way for them to make vast wealth,
Where are places where people often buy counterfeit products?
Those places would be chain stores, shopping malls, because these places tend to sell only high quality products, even though sometimes we may also find some fake knockoffs. Aside from that, maybe some hyperstores, which are usually located in the heart of the city. So those locations. And actually in my city there are located 3 of them, and some of them is located, and the one's name is Aptavik called. This is 4-store shopping mall, and that it sells.
Okay, John, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to stop you there. Don't think me rude. I'm just doing what the examiner would do, okay? So everybody who's watching, examiners will cut you off. If you're talking, and you've said too much, They will just go right in there and be like, how can people avoid being, or they're very professional. They're reading the questions somewhat, so they really just kind of sharply cut into what you're saying. You don't want that, John. You don't want me to interrupt you, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's confusing. It makes for awkward conversation. The coherence goes down. People get irritated. So, you don't want that. You want answer, stop, next question, answer, stop, next question, okay? So my first tip to you, John, is put an end to what you're saying. I realize that you're really focusing on, I just forgot the example, so I got to put in the example. But then you start putting in the example and then you overdo it. So you put in the example and then it's like example, right? Just one example. In my city, there's a shop like this downtown, period. You don't need to tell me more about the shop. You don't need to tell me the last time that you were there. It's fine, okay? So just put the period. I got the example. Let's go to the next question, right? So practice that kind of finish, okay?
Yeah.
John, that was an easy 7.5, I say. So easy band 7.5. I think some examiners will score you as high as an 8 for that as well. Okay. Your first couple of answers were nice and strong. I mean, yes, we had a chance to practice them earlier, so you already had a lot of time to think about the answer. You used the answer that we practiced a little bit, but you made it your own. So I noticed that, you changed the grammar, you added some words, some more examples like Adidas, Nike, and that was really good. So those first couple of answers were an easy band 8, okay, for the first two questions. So what are the most common counterfeit products, and why do they do this? So those were really good. The next question, where I asked you, where are places where people often buy counterfeit products? You gave me an awkward answer. And when somebody has English like you, John, where it's obviously good English, you're fluent, lots of words, your pronunciation is quite clear, it's all about content. So content is where you will gain or lose that band score, okay? So be confident. Make sure you finish your answer, so don't keep talking, and give a good answer. If you don't have a good answer, buy some time. You have to be like, okay, well, I need a moment to think. This question, where are places where people often buy counterfeit products? As soon as you said chain stores and shopping malls, I was like, did you understand the question? I wasn't sure that you understood the question until you said that they sometimes sell knockoffs. I was like, okay, you got the question, but you just gave me a bad answer. Shopping malls and chain stores are actually usually where we find genuine products mostly, because they're brand names and they're directly linked to the manufacturer. Those would not be the first kind of ideas for me when I'm thinking counterfeit products. Let's try to rethink this, John. Where do you think people usually buy counterfeit products? What are more common places to find these products?
Here, counterfeit means like fake products, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that shopping malls won't be much attractive as the original stores.
Shopping malls, no, right? Shopping malls usually have original products mostly. Like if you go to a brand name store, they usually have original. So where do I find counterfeit products? Usually. What's like the number one? There should be one place where you're like, oh, it's the number one place for sure.
Well, I'm just thinking.
Have a look at the chat. Maybe somebody's going to help you out here. I think Nitu got the number one answer in the chat if you're looking at the chat.
Oh, yeah, street market.
Street markets for sure, right? Street markets are full of knockoff products, right? Flea markets, bazaars, they have like you can just see them from like 20 meters away. You're like, oh, that's not a real Samsung TV. What's another place where you don't find real products? Even more than street markets, I think, in some cases. I think there's Ghazi's saying it as well. So Ghazi and Trin also said it as well. It's definitely where I'm very careful about the product being original.
Websites? I mean, online shopping.
Yeah, online shopping.
Exactly. We talked about it.
eBay, for example, right? Or even on Amazon, sometimes you're like, what? That's not real. Why? Why would online shopping be full of knockoff products? What's the reason for it?
Because they are not as unauthorized, first of all, and they don't have to sell high quality products actually.
I'm really pushing you, John, for that critical thinking. And when I'm doing this, it's not just you; it's everybody who's watching. Because what your thinking pattern, it's very common. It's easy for us to not see the simple facts that are in front of us. Why, if think about it from the other side. So one way that you can train your mind to give these better answers is think from both sides of the situation. So think about it as the business that's selling the knockoff products. If you're a business selling a knockoff product, why is online sales a perfect platform for you to do that?
They don't pay bills to the government.
So it's easier
Also
to
they-
avoid the government. Yeah, but there's even an easier answer
Yeah.
here, I think. What's the difference between going into a shopping mall and buying a pair of shoes there versus buying it online?
We save time, save money.
And
And-
you don't
Oh.
get to really see and touch the product, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to sell you a knockoff when you can't really see what I'm selling you, right? It's more difficult
I was
when you're in
thinking-
a shopping mall and you can touch it and the Nike logo falls off the shoe. Then you're like, wait a second, right? So that's the big difference. Visualize it, John. Visualize the situations, right?
Yeah.
So let's try this again. Let's try this question one more time, okay? So here we go. Where are places where people often buy counterfeit products?
Well, those places would be online stores like eBay or Amazon, because in those websites or platforms, people don't get the chance to see or touch those items or goods that they are going to purchase. So it's easier for the manufacturers or salespeople to sell their goods. Aside from that, they don't pay bills to the municipality of that particular country. So this is
stop
win-win.
there, and stop
This is
there,
win
John.
situation only.
And stop there and stop there. Okay, so don't overspeak. Even the first 2 or 3 sentences that you just said, if you just stop there, you're already at a band-aid. Okay, and the reason for it is that you're giving me a good answer. You notice how that first answer that you gave me about shopping malls and chain stores is like a 7 because it's confusing, but the answer that you gave me now with the same English is an easy 8 because it's just a lot clearer. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
It has
so
more explanation on it.
clarity. It's simply one word, clarity, right? It's just a clear response, right?
Yes.
So, and yes, of course, when you, that's the other part of it, John, is when you have the right answer, it's much easier to explain it and it's much easier to give an example. So you have to be careful not to over explain or give too many examples. It's just the IELTS, right? So you're not holding a speech for a marketing class. You just have to give an answer, explanation, and then example and stop, okay?
Yeah.
So one sentence for each is enough, okay? All right, John, keep it up. Keep practicing that. So tune your mind into giving these answers and you'll do great, okay?
Yeah. And is it okay if I ask for like pause? Like just give me a second.
Yeah,
Like maybe.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So you can ask for time. You can say, well, just give me a second to think about that, okay? I guess online, it's very common to buy fake products because it's easy for businesses to sell fake products online since the customer does not get to touch or see the product until it arrives and they've already paid. The pair of shoes that I bought, I didn't see them until they arrived. And of course, when I opened the box, I saw right away that they were fake, right? And then, so yeah, you can do that. You can do it that way, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense? So yeah, buy time.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, think before you speak. Buy time. If you're not sure of the answer, if you feel like, oh, I'm not really, then yeah, definitely slow it down, okay? And it will come. You won't have to, like, I think people are scared that, okay, well, I have to slow it down for every question then. But no, you don't have to slow it down because once your brain starts to click, it will click faster and faster, okay?
Yeah. And just one last question. The way I speak, is it fast? Or should I slow down a little?
It's completely fine. You can. It's there's nothing wrong with your fluency. Your fluency is easily a band 8, even a band 9. If you slow down a little bit, you're still okay. It's a normal, natural speed. Okay, your speed of speech is absolutely a-okay. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, John. Have a great day in Samarkand.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. All right, that was John. All right, from Uzbekistan. Let's choose Juan here. We haven't heard from Juan in ages. Wonder how Juan is doing. Are you ready? I will be choosing new people, so be brave as well. Okay, if you're new. Don't be shy. You actually notice that a lot of people who try this, they come back. So Ghazi, Amrit, Manideep, I'm keeping an eye out for you as well. Chayani, I've got you. I can see that you're volunteering. Because once you do it, you realize, hey, it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. And it's really good to build confidence and practice. So Juan Pablo says, kind of nervous, but yes. Okay. Hello, Juan. I hear that you picked up the phone, but I don't hear you. I wonder if you're the same Juan Pablo as from before, because Juan is a very popular name. Juan, I can't hear you, so you might have an issue with your device or your permissions in your settings, okay? You need to make sure that you set your browser to allow the use of your microphone and same with the website or your phone. So you got to check those, okay, Juan? I can't hear you, but if you've got the right settings, and if you're using an iPhone or an iPad, it could be a problem too. So unfortunately, Apple sometimes has issues. Okay, Juan, try your settings. Try it with somebody else. Make sure it works, okay? Okay, so let me just message you that. Try this with another student. Yeah, and then check it back, okay? In the meantime, we'll find somebody else. You don't need to be sorry about it. It's totally okay. Amrit, are you ready? Here we go. Hopefully Amrit is there, very patient. I'm not sure which Amrit this is. We have a few different Amrits now, I think. So there was another Amrit there as well. So I don't know who's who. This is Amrit with a small a, and we have an Amrit with a big A as well. It's tough to know. Amrit says I'm at the bottom. All right. Okay, well, this top Amrit is not answering. So let's try the bottom Amrit. Are you ready? This is our member Amrit. Try to answer me within at least a few seconds so that I can reach out to you. Amrit says yes. Okay. Here we go. Oh, we've got lots of time. Gone, meanwhile, is saying they need someone to practice. Amrit, are you there?
Hi, sir.
Hi, Amrit.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Okay. All right, Amrit. So, are you ready for some part 3 questions?
Yes, sir, I'm ready. But actually, today I have very little ideas for these questions.
Always try to be optimistic. So never think about speaking part 3 questions as like, I don't know about this or I've never seen anything. Immediately start to think about news articles that you've read or stories that you've heard from your friends or family or movies that you've seen maybe on the topic, okay? Here we go, Amrit. So let's get into it. Where are places where people often buy counterfeit products?
Well, people can easily find different type of places like street markets and shopping malls and even online shopping, which is quite popular today. And people can easily find different type of famous products like Nike shoes or very famous electronic companies like iPhone. they can also try these type of items on these kind of uh, places. So I think and even last Sunday I bought iPhone from my nearest street market, which is quite popular street market for electronics.
How can people avoid being tricked into buying fake products?
I think there are various different type of methods where people can uh, get to know about the fake products. Like they can search online and get the information of official website on different type of product sites, and they get more knowledge about specifications and who is the owner of the product.
How has technology helped customers know about product authenticity?
Well, today technology has increased a lot for the past 1 decade, and people can always get information on internet. Even they can just search on the product name or serial number, and they get more knowledge about the authentically product. And even there are lots of customer care numbers available on internet, and even there are lots of feedback available which are given by the uh, customers on the online shopping applications like Amazon or Flipkart.
Okay, let's stop
And
there. It's not bad. All right.
yeah,
That was good. That was good, Amrit.
it is.
All right. So I was quite happy with it. What I really liked about what you were doing is you learned from the last situation where we were talking with John, and John was asking about, do I need to speak really fast, or is it okay if I speak a bit slower but think a little bit more, or ask for some time to think? And I distinctly noticed that you took a little bit of pause, or you were slow to start your answer because you were thinking about your answer, like, oh, what should I say for this? And in part three, that's absolutely okay. It needs to be a
Yeah.
good conversation. Like here, when I asked you, how has technology helped customers know about product authenticity, you distinctly paused for a couple seconds at the beginning. You stopped, and then you're like, well, today technology has advanced a lot. So you gave me kind of this general idea, like technology has advanced a lot. And even during that time, I could tell that you were thinking about a good answer. And that's exactly what you did. You said people can search on the product name and serial number. That's a wonderful answer. Okay, that is absolutely a good way to check the product authenticity, right? Type in the serial number. If it matches, if it seems to be authentic, then it's good, right? And then you said, and they get to know more knowledge about the authenticity. And then you said that they know more about the specifications of the product as well. So that was really good. Now, if you want to improve the score even more, then give an example. Like you can say the iPhone, I bought at the
Okay.
market. I checked the serial number
On the internet.
on the internet and it was registered. Okay, so that's a
And
quick way to make that connection and complete the idea. Does that make sense?
yes, sir, it makes sense. And after I realized that I'm in a safe zone.
Right? So it's good to think before you speak, especially in part three where the questions can be kind of strange for sure. Okay, so let's try this question one more time with the answer. Just copy after me, and then it will prove this point to all of our viewers that this is the right way to approach this kind of a question. So and you use the present perfect, which was really good. So here's the question, here's the answer, just copy after me. Okay, so how has technology helped customers know about product authenticity? Well, today technology has advanced a lot, people can search on the product name and serial number, and they can get more knowledge about the authenticity about the product on the internet. The iPhone I bought at the market, I checked its serial number on the internet, and it was registered. So how has technology helped customers know about product authenticity?
Today technology has advanced a lot. People can search on the product name and serial number, and they get more knowledge about the authenticity about product. The iPhone I bought at the market, and I checked its serial number on the internet, and it was registered.
Okay, clear. All right, clear, good answer. That's what you want to do. So slow it down, think about a good answer, and you will definitely get a better band score than if you speak really quickly. I especially find that a lot of candidates in India tend to speak really fast, but not make a lot of sense. And
Even sir, before I focus on my fluency, but today I focus content, expect fluency.
always focus on content before fluency. Fluency is not worth much without content. Content, on the other hand, can still be worth a lot without a lot of fluency. So even if you have lower fluency but good content, you can still get a good score. If you have a lot of fluency but poor content, you will get a low score. That's really important to keep in mind, okay?
Okay, sir, got it.
All right, thank you so much, Amrit. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Okay, sir, thank you so much for giving me this feedback.
Awesome. Okay, bye, Amrit. All right, that was Amrit, and that was really good. Okay, let's take somebody kind of new. So we hear a new voice, and then maybe we'll take somebody who's being patient and who's coming back. So I'll keep switching it up. Tan is with us here today. Let's see if Tan is ready. Are you ready to practice? Okay, so let's see if Tan is here with us still. Okay. Ghazi says, reduce the speed and turn the light on, Amrit. Very good analogy or expressive language, Ghazi. Absolutely. Okay, Tan says, yes, cool. Hello, Tan. Are you there? I can't hear you. By the way, some people have used our products with knockoff phones and computers, and they sometimes tend to have issues. So I'm not saying, the person has a knockoff phone, but if you have knockoff phones and knockoff products, sometimes they don't work as well, especially for speaking and video interactions, which is kind of strange, but yeah. Tan, I can't hear you, and I'm not saying you have a knockoff phone by any means. I'm just using that example here. Make sure you check your connection. Try to use a strong Wi-Fi or LAN connection if possible, right? Audio data while watching YouTube sucks bandwidth, so drains your bandwidth. So make sure to do that, okay? All right. Let's try Ghazi. Ghazi is hardworking, loves to practice. Let's give him a chance. Ghazi, are you ready? And I will reach out to new people as well. You can tell that people who keep coming back, they've checked their connection, they've fixed whatever issues they might have. So I'm usually able to connect with them. And it's all about enabling your computer for audio, video, or your phone, and having a good connection.
Yeah.
Hi, Ghazi.
How are you?
I am good, thank you. Life on the West Coast here is good today. Summer is slowly but surely coming. How's life on the East Coast of Canada today, Ghazi?
Yeah, Newfoundland, the weather is beautiful these days. It's warm, but there's some mosquitoes these days.
Mosquitoes. Yeah, mosquitoes are a pain for sure.
Yeah, they can, because I live in a town and there's a lot of trees surrounded us, usually just in the beginning of the hot or something that can see them. But it's okay.
Yep, yep, and not so much. Not we don't have too many mosquitoes here on Vancouver Island, where I live, which is actually nice, or at least on the south part in Victoria here, which is
It's
kind of nice.
nice.
But I do know that on the East Coast, in some places, you have a lot of mosquitoes. For all of our viewers that don't know, mosquitoes are those little insects that
Yeah.
suck your blood. They're like little vampires. They drain your blood and then they make you itchy and leave a bump, and nobody really likes them, right?
Yeah, it's usual. It's common.
There's
Believe.
there's a saying, Ghazi. I'm not sure if you've heard this before, but there's a saying that goes like this. It goes, "If God loves people so much, why did He make mosquitoes?" So,
Yeah, to punch them.
to punish them, right? Okay.
That's the main function.
Yeah. Anyhow, Ghazi, I am going to ask you some part 3 questions, and I hope that you stay safe from those pesky
Yeah,
mosquitoes.
we'll try.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about copyright protection. Okay. It is common for people and companies to copy and use others' creations like literature and video to their own benefit. Why do they do this?
Give me a moment to think about the question. So, if we talk about the sorry, so it's tough question. So you can skip the question.
Sure. Why is it harmful to a creator and society when companies copy other people's work?
Yeah, I think that's can affect on society in some ways. No, sorry, sorry about that. So I didn't expect this kind of question. I just turned my brain on the productions and the fake and the original productions. Then
It's still the same idea. So
Oh.
part 3 doesn't actually change that much. So this is totally okay, Ghazi, and I'm happy that we're in this situation because students and candidates get into this situation. They get into this situation where they start thinking, "What are we talking about?" or "What is this person asking me?" Okay, so it's
without fully understand for the question. I can give you
Absolutely.
a random answer, but I don't like.
No, and you don't want to do that. You should
Yeah.
not give me a random answer, okay? And this is for everybody that's watching. Giving random answers or just trying to guess an answer, it doesn't work. That's just like trying to guess the lottery numbers. It's just 1 in a million. There's no way that you can be accurate, and you get a really low band score if you're talking completely off topic. So there's no point to do that, okay? So Ghazi, you actually took the right step at the beginning here, where at first you realized, oh, this is something different. I need some time. So you said, give me a moment to think about the question, okay? Now, when you take that moment, so when you start thinking about the question, your first thought should be, okay, we're probably still talking about copying products or fake products, but something's a little bit different. So it's not going to be completely different. It's just going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, we'll try again.
Just a sec, guy, because you're starting to realize now, I think, what's going on. But before that happens, I want to help not just you, but I want to help everybody who's watching. When this happens, don't panic. Don't panic, okay? So just remember that it has to do with the same kind of topic, with maybe some small difference. And you have to start thinking, okay, what is that small difference? Especially when you hear the examiner kind of give you a hint, use the word like. So it's common for people and companies to copy and use others' creations like literature and video. Okay. So now you're thinking, okay, so we're talking about copying, but not copying shoes or iPhones. We're talking about copying like a book or a video. Okay.
Yeah, that's more.
Yeah. And then the question is, why do they do this? IELTS isn't meant to be super tricky, Ghazi. So the second point that you should remember is that even though it sounds difficult, it should still be fairly simple, right? So let me ask you this again. Why do companies do this? So why do they copy literature or video?
Actually, some companies or corporations try to use others' innovations or literatures in order to improve their projects. Like many big business these days, like big companies, they steal the success ideas from the small business for this reason.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now you're starting to get it, right? So you clicked, you started to get it. And sometimes the answer, Ghazi, is as simple as the answer before. So to make money, to make easy money, right? So people copy the work of other people to...
It's a different method here.
It's just a different product, right? So instead of physical products, we're into intellectual products. This is called intellectual property theft.
Yeah,
right?
that is why I stopped to think about that. That's intellectual products.
Yeah. So you can answer very simply here. Okay, so let me give you an example answer, and then you can copy it. So people copy and use the inventions of others for the same reasons they copy products: to make money quickly and easily. Intellectual property theft, like copying a video and then selling it, happens just like copying shoes. Okay.
Or we can say, for example, when a singer steal a song words from one of the books or from other pouts.
Other musicians, right? Careful with your words, Ghazi. So the words of a song, it's called lyrics. Okay, so stealing lyrics. And don't use for example, right? So like when a musician steals the lyrics from another creator on YouTube, for example, right?
Okay, that's what we talk about.
That's exactly what we're talking about. So keep it simple. Okay, so keep it simple. Don't overthink it. When you have a question like this, then think, okay, it's got to be kind of similar to what we're already talking about, just with a little bit of difference. What is that? Okay, now I kind of get it, right? Because the examiner said videos, literature. Okay, so now let me ask you the second question. Why is it harmful to the creator and society?
This attitude, absolutely, it is cause a danger for both individual and the society, because this can lead others people to do the same, and that can help to lose a lot of others' efforts.
Okay. Keep it simple. It's stealing. It's still stealing, right? So it's illegal. It's stealing. If you steal songs from other people, it's stealing. So stealing a song is no different than stealing shoes, right?
Exactly.
So this attitude is absolutely...
Steal eggs like steal a camel. That's an Arabic proverb. They use it.
Exactly.
If a person steal an egg, he could steal a camel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this attitude absolutely causes problems for both the individual and society, because this can lead others to do the same, and creators lose money and motivation.
There's efforts. Yes.
And for society, this is a type of crime. which damages the integrity
Yeah.
of the people. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So good. Ghazi, repeat after me. I'm going to give the answer. Just repeat once I'm done. So this attitude absolutely causes problems for both the individual and society, because this can lead others to do the same, and creators lose money and motivation. And for society, this is a type of crime which damages the integrity of the people. So why is this harmful to the creator and society?
This attitude absolutely causes problems for both individual and society, because this can lead others to do the same, and the creators lose money and motivations. And for society, this is a type of crime which damages the integrity of the people.
Okay, good. Yeah. And then every couple of questions, we can throw an example in there as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ghazi, the important points from our interaction, and this is for everybody, is in part 3, if you get asked a question that at first seems really challenging or difficult, it might not be that tough. You just have to buy a bit of time and think, okay, it's connected to the same idea. What can I recognize? What can I use from this? And then try to answer. If you really can't, then do what you did, where you said, okay, can we go to the next question? I'm a bit confused by this one. Then you should go to the next question if you really don't understand it. But I have a feeling that you can figure them out as long as you give it a bit of attention.
I shocked by the transition from the literal products to the ideas products. So
Exactly. And IELTS does that in part 3. So it's a very common situation in IELTS part 3 where the question kind of transitions like that. And then the students suddenly caught off guard. They're surprised. They're like, what? Are we still talking about the same? So this is advice to everybody who's watching. Be ready. Be ready for that kind of surprising transition. And remember that it's still connected. It's still related. Okay.
Yeah, I felt little sharp change. Is kind of jump. We jump from something to something that
exactly. It's like a sharp corner on the road, but you're still on the same road. It's just it's just a quick corner on that road, and you just don't want to be surprised by it. You just kind of take it slowly. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah.
And it happens to so many candidates, guys. So many candidates. You got to be careful.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate your advices, and see you later.
Bye, Ghazi. Have a great day. And
you too.
The Newfoundland. Bye. Okay, that was Ghazi from East Coast Canada. We're in the same country, but very far apart. All right. How are we doing? We've got time, everyone. Absolutely. Chayani, I'm not sure if we've had the chance. Can I be the third volunteer? You can be the volunteer now, Chayani, if you're ready. I know you've been patient. Are you ready? I'm not sure if we've spoken before, but if you're still hanging out, you certainly can be. Okay. Manny Deep says, I'm waiting for my turn. Manny Deep, I will try to get you in there. Okay. Anahita says, I am from Afghanistan, but living in Tajikistan. And I think Chayani might have had to get up and go and do something else. So let's try Manny Deep. Yeah, Manny Deep says, I'm waiting. Okay, are you ready? Manny Deep is one of our newer members who has joined our channel. So that's great. Definitely, become a member. If you're not a member, certainly become a subscriber, because there's lots of goodies on our YouTube channel, and we're just getting started, always building and getting better. Here we go, Manny Deep.
Hey, Adrian.
Hi, Mandeep. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Good. I have a quick question. Do I pronounce the I in your name? Is it Manny Deep or is it Mandeep?
It's actually not both. People call me Money Deep.
Money Deep. Money Deep.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that correction. All right. Do you shorten it to money or no?
No, Adrian.
Okay, fair enough. Be honest. Fair enough, right? I mean, in your IELTS exam in part one too, don't say call me Mani if nobody calls you Mani, right? So just
Yes.
call me Mani Deep. Okay, Mani Deep, I will call you that. By your name accurately. Okay, Mani Deep. I don't know if I asked you last time, but why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I'm taking the IELTS exam as it is a prerequisite for me to apply for masters in University of Texas at Austin in United States.
Okay, awesome. What do you plan to study there?
I plan to do masters in business analytics.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions here, and we'll go from there. So here we go. It is common for people and companies to copy and use others' creations like literature and video to their own benefit. Why do they do this?
That's an important question. As when people keep copying content from other creators, it demotivates the original creators of the content, and also they lose money as more and more money will be diverted towards the other creators who have copied the content. Uh, in fact, there was a situation once where I have uploaded an explanation video on YouTube and it was copied by other creators. I was surprised that more views were diverted to that video rather than mine. Uh, so it definitely demotivates the content creator, and it also has an impact on the society because that demotivated me a lot. That led to not upload more videos on YouTube, which directly relates to the loss of more quality content to the
Why
society.
is this harmful to the creator and society?
As I mentioned earlier, it's harmful to both creator and society. Creator loses his motivation and also the money that he gets from the content that he has created. And when creator loses his motivation, he'll start uploading videos, or maybe will lose motivation to create content, which has a direct impact on the society because they will lose some of the quality content that a creator might come up with in the future.
How can this be avoided?
Uh, if I had to say how this can be avoided, there are several ways that this can be avoided. Like if I take an example of YouTube, YouTube has a copyright claim policy where if content creators or content is being stolen by some other creator, they can immediately claim a copyright, and they can get back they can take down the videos. That is how they can protect their content. And in fact, if there are if there are companies that register their products, they can also file a case against the clones or the imminent products.
What kinds of consequences do schools and businesses implement for plagiarism?
They have they have very several good softwares to avoid the plagiarisms, where they will detect the commonly written essays, for example. Uh,
What kinds of consequences do schools and businesses implement for plagiarism?
I'm unable to think about the content.
Okay, all right, I'll stop there. I'll stop pushing you. I have to challenge you, just like I challenged Ghazi, right? That's what part 3 is about, okay? So you should never feel embarrassed or shy or down because you're not able to answer a question in part 3. The goal of the examiner is to check the maximum level of competency, and they're testing at the highest level. So even a band 8 level English user might get a question that they can't really answer. So it's not the end of the world, okay? Not being able to answer a question in part 3, not the end of the world, and you can still get a very good band score. Keep that in mind, okay?
That's definitely good to hear.
Okay, yeah. So you don't need to freak out if you haven't answered the question. Okay, it's like I said, it's not the end of the world. Okay, you gave me some good answers. I like how you really started to visualize how YouTube manages copyright claims, and people are familiar with that. So that was a really good example. I think the same advice as with John earlier. Don't overstate your examples. Just keep it a little bit shorter. Like when you said that you uploaded a video to YouTube and a person copied your YouTube video, and then you started to say this demotivates people. You should have just simply said, and it definitely, I lost motivation, and then stopped. And definitely because of this, I lost motivation and stopped making videos, and then stop, right? You kind of stretched that example too far. Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
All right, so keep your example shorter. By the way, your band score is, I think, easily a 7.5, moving towards an 8, okay?
Sure.
All right, and this last question here, okay, really pay attention to the question, because I think that you can understand this question. You have very good English, and I think that you can understand it. You just didn't. So that's why I repeated the question. The examiner will do that. When the examiner thinks that the student is capable of understanding the question, but they're just not focusing, they're not grasping the question, then they repeat it. So I asked this question here: what kinds of consequences do schools and businesses implement for plagiarism? Plagiarism means to copy other people's intellectual property, so their writing or their video work or their ideas. Okay. If I copy somebody's essay in school, what happens?
I mean, the teacher must not give him the marks.
Oh, it's more than that. Usually, especially in
They-
university.
They should punish him, and they might even debar him.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about universities in every part of the world, but in universities in Canada, plagiarism is taken very seriously, and in many cases, they will expel the student from the university, which means that the student will lose their tuition. They have to leave the university. And in worse cases, they'll even blacklist them, which means that if the student tries to apply to another university, then it will come up in the registration system that the student was caught for plagiarizing, especially if it was a more serious piece of work, and then the other university won't even look at the application after that. So that's what happens. If somebody's caught plagiarizing IELTS, for example, they can be severely punished and can even lose their privilege to travel to other countries.
Yes.
So it's a very serious issue, right? So the consequences means the punishments, right? So when you think of the word consequences, you have to think punishments in this case, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Businesses, of course, will often sue the other person who is copying, which means that they will go to court and they will get money, right? I think for movies, they often say at the beginning of the movie, copying this video or this movie can lead to $1 million rupee fine or something like that, right?
Yes.
So financial consequences. Okay, so those are the different ways. Let me try this question one more time with you, okay? So what
Sure.
kinds of consequences do schools and businesses implement for plagiarism?
There are several consequences that schools and business implement for copying the content. Schools might blacklist the student, and they may also drop the student and will not allow him to travel abroad. And businesses, if the employees copy their content and share outside, they may even sue him, which results in his unemployment. Like, I have seen an incident in my office where one of the person has shared some of the inside content to outside, which resulted in removing him from the company.
Okay. All right, much better. So that was a clear answer. So now I can tell that you understood the question. Okay. Again, be really, in part 3, you really have to pay attention to each of those words in the question. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Money Deep. That was good. All right. Keep it up. Keep practicing, and you'll get the hang of it. Okay. So you'll get the hang of it. You're really pushing for that, Band 8 score, and I think you can get there with more attention to content and not over speaking. Okay. Careful to just answer, explain, example. Okay.
Sure, Adrian. Like while I'm thinking about this question, especially when I heard the word plagiarism, I thought about the tools, the plagiarism tools that are inbuilt into the online exams, right? So
Yeah, so
I
there's
thought,
lots of tools that check for plagiarism, but plagiarism
yes,
itself is the copying of intellectual property, right?
yeah, I got that.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully, I'll see you in lots of classes next week, and make sure to check out some of the videos that we're uploading in the meantime, okay?
Sure, I never miss any of your videos.
Oh, that's great. Okay. All right, thank you for that. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye, Money Deep. All right, that was Money Deep. Very good. Yeah, Money Deep would easily be a band 7 for his speaking, but probably higher. Okay. All right, everyone. So the website that we're using, you see lots of people in here, and yeah, it's definitely good to interact with me. It's also very good to interact with each other, so you can message each other. We did not build this platform just so you can talk to me. We built it so that you can talk to each other and practice for your IELTS speaking. You have sample questions right there on the page. Let me show you where that was. So right here, okay, you've got sample IELTS questions. You can click on those. They open in a new window. You can find whichever one you want. They're full lists, and there's multiple questions. So there's 15 different scripts there, okay, that you can use. If you like our website, definitely sign up for our premium IELTS package. And you do that simply by clicking this red Join Now button, okay? If you want to book an IELTS speaking interview with me, you can do that by clicking this yellow button right here, the IELTS speaking interview practice button. Students, that's it for me for today. Thank you so much to all of the volunteers in this live class. I really had fun talking with you, and it was very productive to teach all these candidates around the world on what to pay attention to in part 3 of the IELTS speaking exam. Go to aehelp.com for lots more help. gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. We are happy to host you there as well. Thank you to our members, Amrit, Rashika, Ghazi. It was really great to have you all with me here today. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, everyone. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Western Canada here in Victoria. Much love to wherever you are. Bye for now.